Good morning from probably one of the noisiest cities in the entire world, Hanoi, Vietnam. Like I said, it feels good to be back in Southeast Asia. I haven't been to Vietnam in about 7 years now. Me and my now wife actually spent about 8 weeks here when we had our first midlife crisis. And yeah, we travelled the whole country, started in the south and went all the way up to the most northern point on the Chinese border. Absolutely incredible place. And like I say, it feels so good to be back. Hanoi is this melting pot of just madness, just chaos, and I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, I've actually found myself here on my way back to New Zealand. I had a layover and was like, of course I'm gonna spend some time here, because back then I wasn't really a photographer, so I wanted to come and shoot some photos and see this place again, you know, through the eyes of being a photographer. So today's gonna be a classic photo vlog exploring in and around the old quarter of Hanoi. I probably won't do much talking because it is ridiculously loud. What we'll do is we'll capture some moments, take some nice photos hopefully, and then I will talk my thought process over the top of why I decided to click the shutter. So yeah, it's good to be back. Let the madness begin. I love everything about this scene. From the framing of the arch, the pops of colours from the storefronts, and then that cluttered stall to the right that just adds another layer within the scene to create a well-balanced image. The gentleman working in the back adds that human element and everyday moment to make the image complete. After capturing sunrise on the bridge, I headed to the market that's located at the foot of it. I later found out that this is a night market operating from 10 PM till dawn, which probably explains why it was fairly quiet, allowing me to capture single subjects without the crowds. Here's one of those classic spray and pray moments that just kind of happen in street photography, and you end up walking away with an image that you prefer over what you actually envisioned. I was just trying to capture a really simple image of a subject within the centre of this frame as the guy on the right hand side came in front of me, and he creates a bit more of a nicer frame to the image, gives it a bit more of that chaotic feel, as well as adding another layer to give the image a bit more depth. After some people watching, I saw these workers wearing the traditional Vietnamese non-la hats and decided to give them a follow to try and frame the hats as silhouettes against a nice backdrop. I walked away with this image, but I was shooting with the 85mm at the time, and it would have looked a lot better if I was shooting at a wider focal length. However, the backdrop from this image actually caught my eye, and then I quickly grabbed these two detail shots of other tarpaulin close by. Although the shots aren't perfect or exactly what I was after, it planted a seed in my head to keep an eye out for something similar later on in the day. As I walked into another part of the market, I come across these two men deeply engrossed in a game of Shang-Chi. Their intense focus allowed me to capture a couple of shots without being noticed, but I think this one is my favourite out of the bunch because of the man on the left pointing at the board with his finger and the guy on the right in deep thought about his next move. I think it tells a pretty nice story. I'm going to put it out there, I reckon Vietnamese coffee is up there with some of the best in the world. While I quickly caffeinate, for those of you who are interested, I'll talk to you about the gear that I'm shooting on today. Super lightweight, compact, great, flexible for a day like today walking around a city. You don't want to be lugging around heaps of gear, and personally I found that this setup can do it all. So we're shooting on the Sony A7C II paired with the 24 to 50 2.8 Sony G lens, and then when I need that little bit of extra zoom, I've got the 85mm 1.4 G Master Mark II. Perfect setup, in my opinion, for a day like today. Got this little sling bag on and we're good to go. I can walk around the city all day long shooting. Also, the light is just glorious. It's like this hazy, diffused, just nice. You can shoot in it all day long, you know, it's not too harsh. It's creating pockets of like nice shadows and stuff. And yeah, just an absolute pleasure to shoot in. So I didn't actually think much of this image when I shot it, but looking back at it now, it's probably one of my favourite images from the day. Normally in instances like this, you'd want a single subject or 3 subjects to balance out the scene. But I think it works perfectly with these 2 ladies in the frame. I don't know if it's the way that they're standing, their matching jackets and hats work perfectly. And then the pops of colour from that yellow pillar and the green bags to the bottom right hand corner. So this scene's super interesting to me. Absolute carnage out here. But if you come in here, I'm trying to kind of create some negative space from this tarpaulin that's hanging from the roofs. You got these pops of blue, and then I basically want to get someone in that sort of bottom third, maybe a nice hat or another pop of colour. For these images I decided to play with a slow shutter, keeping focus on my subject, which is the coconut seller at the back of the image. I used a shutter speed of 1/15 and I really like doing this in busy places as it creates movement within an image and it gives off this calm within the chaos feeling. So that is how you get people into your restaurant. You just cook meat and blow it up into the sky. It smells incredible. So I saw this gentleman standing out on the street observing the traffic, which would have made a pretty boring photo, but I saw the way that he had his hands placed and it really caught my eye. So I decided to stand behind the bike he was standing in front of and frame him between the bike and the tarp to not only give a bit of depth to the image and minimise the scene, but also to create this sort of mysterious look for the viewer to ask the question why? What is going on here? And I really like the result. the day was coming to an end and I decided to head back to the bridge where I started off this video earlier in the morning, when I came across these vans completely filled head to toe with pineapples. It was absolutely incredible to see the workers shifting this abundance of pineapples from van to van, from the van to the street. Tried my best to capture an array of angles of these everyday moments unfolding. I actually like the images best that I shot with the 85mm, as it compresses the scene and allows you to focus on the details. And that wraps up a chaotic day and a bit here in Hanoi. That has been so much fun to be back here and immerse myself in this chaotic place as a photographer with my camera in hand and just walk around and get lost and take photos with a really simple setup. One body, two lenses. What a photogenic city. I hope you've enjoyed this style of video as well, and you've enjoyed hearing about my thought process of what I see when I see a scene, or what I'm trying to achieve, and ultimately why I click the shutter. All of today's photos have been edited with my Journey Collection preset, so if you like the look of the edits, the link is in the description below. I've got to head to the airport now. I've got another 24 hours of travel to get back home to New Zealand, but I'm really looking forward to getting home and taking some time off, because it's been a busy couple of weeks on the road. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.